Okay, let's see. Make sure everything is on. Y'all know we got to check the. Just make sure the audio is working. Okay, perfect. Hey y'all, hey. All right, so good morning or good afternoon, according to where you at, or good night. Hit me. So listen, y'all. The longest trial in Georgia history, the longest, most expensive trial, the YSL trial, is finally coming to an end. Or is it? So today it's supposed to go to the jury, right? And the jury is supposed to be in. And keep in mind, we went from 29 suspects in this
Can we just pull those
down to 2. Okay. I'm gonna just put it on mute real quick. So what we're watching now, y'all, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. What we're watching now is live from the courtroom. The judge is listening to any final thoughts from the prosecution and defense. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, y'all. She is still giving the prosecution the business because they forgot something else. And then it was trying to get the judge to like put it back in at the last minute. She was like, no, I'm not doing that. Yep. Y'all should have buttoned up. Okay. And y'all should have made sure that was in your closing or your case or whatever you were asking. I'm not doing that at this time. Again, I don't know how this case has made it this far. I don't know how it's not a mistrial already, but somehow, some way it ain't. And today though, here's the thing. When we got the closing arguments last time, remember with Young Thug, rapper Young Thug, and we all thought, okay, either it's going to be a mistrial or whatever, but you know, we didn't know what was going to happen. So they ended up taking plea deals. And let's be clear, y'all, there's still an opportunity here for that as well. So there could be a last minute plea, any of that. Like, we don't know, but that's why we have got to see what's going on. All right, y'all make sure y'all comment in the comments. I'm going to go back live to the courtroom so we can see what's going to happen today. And you know, I live for the chat. So please make sure you chat. You get in the chat. You say
this is not previously recorded. This is live. They are still not sure of how the law works, people.
So, y'all.
What we've seen this morning is that they're still not sure how the law works. Miss Melanated came back with the $4.99 super. Appreciate it. I do appreciate that, Miss Melanated. I do. We had a huge debate, y'all, this morning. I guess we can call it a debate about whether your body can move once you are brain dead. And Miss Melanated is, to your credit, still maintaining your point that it cannot. And I do appreciate that. It's not like they don't know the law. They're trying to twist law. The law is vague, High Priestess. The law is not clear in this case. And Judge Whitaker is basically having to invent an interpretation before our very eyes. So that's what's happening. This is a vague part of the law that nobody is sure how it's supposed to work. I'm talking about this particular question. She gave a directed verdict. Can that overt act be the basis of the RICO, or does it need to be removed? Is essentially how I understand this to be, understand the question. And they just don't know the answer. So while there have been many situations where the twisting interpretation could be right, in this case, I would rather say they just don't seem to really have any background to know what they're supposed to do. If they don't know, why use it? Well, the defense doesn't want them to use it, and the prosecution does. You know, that's their jobs. Both of their jobs, they're both advocating for their side of the coin. The defense, they don't want that to be used, and the prosecution, they do want it to be used. So, you know, the judge is going to have to make the determination. I know the testimony that Cheeseboro had and what a detective had. One of them was lying because somebody had to be at the scene first. Maybe you're talking about something we were talking about a little bit earlier.
I'm trying to see if I can.
They're still trying trickery. The state need to go back to school. So Shirley's divorce, they have an overt act. It's possession of codeine, for example. That is a perfectly fine overt act, and it's illegal. The complication comes in is that Judge Whitaker basically dismissed that charge. That's the term I'm using. She gave a directed verdict against that overt act. So now the question is, do they just remove that altogether from the indictment, or could the jury still find that that's an overt act for the RICO, even though Judge Whitaker gave a directed verdict for it? So that's how I understand this. And I think it's a legitimate question, honestly. The state wants to keep it because that's their job. And the defense wants to get rid of it because that's their job. So I wouldn't say there's a twist in this situation. It's unclear as to.
But then my thing is, how are we here on day number 985 million that we're still at the point where case law and definition is not being understood, being forgotten by the prosecution? And what I really feel like they're trying to make happen, y'all, and you tell me what you think in the chat. I feel like they're trying to make these two people that didn't take plea deals out of all 29. I really feel like they're trying to make the hardest example out of these two people and make sure that at least they get these two and make the charges stick with them and make them pay the consequences for the whole RICO trial. Because at this point, the prosecution, the whole office has egg on their face.
The moment that this question came to be, you know.
We were just dealing with other issues.
So, High Priestess, remember the RICO is the charge. The possession of codeine is the overt act. So they're not. So Yak Gotti is not getting. He's not in risk of getting.
And Your Honor, unless I missed it, I don't believe the Arizona conviction came into evidence.
Speaking of Yak Gotti, so Yak Gotti is one of the two that's left, right? That's that took it to trial. And ironically, let me see, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. Today is what, Tuesday? Maybe the day before yesterday. I believe a video came out that at first they tried to say was Gunner. Y'all remember Gunner? If not, we'll have to circle back to that. But it wasn't Gunner. It was actually Yak Gotti, one of the guys that's on trial here. He's the rapper on the YSL label. And it is him snitching nonstop over some McDonald's in the interrogation room with the cops. So, maybe when we have some time today, we'll kind of circle back and let you see a clip of that. But I don't know if that's going to affect the outcome of this case at the point where they're at right now. Because, again, the prosecution is still trying to throw in last-minute directives to the judge. But thank God the judge is like, no. All right, let's tune back in.
In the indictment, but that overt act is subject to a directed verdict. Do you still get to keep that to try to establish the RICO?
Starting with overt act number 3, y'all allege that Mr. Stillwell possessed marijuana with intent to distribute
They trying.
on 8/23/13. Is there a conviction for that? And which one is that? Hmm?
No, Miss Flynn's. He's not getting constructive possession on those. She gave a directed verdict, so it's over for those.
It's neither of these. Aren't there 3 for Mr. Stillwell? Yes, Your Honor. All right, you handed me 2. Okay, can you hand me all of the convictions for each of them that are in evidence?
Why are people still arguing this? Just factually wrong, dead spot.
You had cited all of them in your closing, but that's okay. It's probably this one. No, this is a 10. Let's see. It can't be that one. Can't be that one either.
So that is what the judge is trying to determine. They're not
Yeah, well, I think it's
reintroducing
still
it.
somewhere in one
I
of
think
those
the question
bins.
is, would it like
Is in-
continue? But that's what the judge has to determine. That's what the judge has to determine. So I see you're saying that the answer is no. The defense is saying the answer is no. I would think the answer should be no, but let's see what the judge says. She seems to be leaning toward no, or else I think she would have just said yes and given her opinion on it. So I think she's leaning toward no. I mean, she is the person who gave the directed verdict after all. It's not double jeopardy because they are not, because the directed verdict was for the codeine possession. That's done. But they're still on the hook for the RICO. They're still being judged for the RICO. The codeine possession was an overt act
All
for
right,
the RICO.
Ms. Pressfield, the burglary one, there is a conviction for, so we do need to define burglary in our overt acts.
So, you know what's weird? Everybody else got to take plea deals
I would say that the answer seems like it should be no
2013.
for
as
charges,
well.
right? Everybody else got to take plea deals for charges. Well, not that they didn't get a chance, but they decided not to. But like, if nobody else got charged with the full RICO, which I don't listen, I am not a lawyer. You know, I am homegirl homicide, solve the true crime episodes. But my thought is, how, if everybody else took a plea deal on certain charges, is it possible for 2 people that were on the same case to still be charged and judged on the whole RICO? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. And again, y'all, I still cannot believe we still here talking about the YSL trial. The YSL trial is still going on. Y'all think it's going to end today? I dropped a question in the chat box. Let me know what y'all think. All right, let's go back live to the courtroom. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, y'all should expect the state to argue to try to get a conviction. I don't think this is dirty. This question is not dirty. This is it seems to be pretty straightforward, honestly, but Judge Whitaker is allowing the state to come up with some case law that would support their position, which is what she's supposed to do.
Even at this point,
this is the reason, Allison, why I think there may be a multi-day jury deliberation, because I think it's going to be difficult for them to even understand what the RICO stuff.
Are there other overt acts?
And you know what's crazy, y'all? I also think it could also come back in a hung jury. Y'all, this trial is still a mess. But we watching them. A mess.
I'm starting to feel like they're not going to reach a verdict tomorrow, y'all.
See?
I mean, if they're taking their job seriously as a jury, there's going to be a lot of debate. Look how we can't even decide as a chat whether somebody's body can move after their brain dead.
Oh, Lord.
Like, we can't even decide that.
Which has nothing to do with this
We
case.
can't even decide that. So we're going to get the jury in there with all these complicated instructions and all of this that's happened back and forth.
Yeah.
If we get a verdict tomorrow, that means that their minds were already made up.
I would hope so.
If we get a verdict between, I guess they'll get to deliberate some today, maybe. If we are able to get a verdict sometime between today and tomorrow, that means that their minds are already made up, because this is too complicated for them to deliberate and digest, particularly the RICO stuff. And again, look at how we are back and forth on just, can your body move after your brain dead? Some people are saying no, and they know it for a fact. Some people are saying yes.
Which again has nothing to do with this case. But if you'd like to comment on that, you can in the chat. You already know how we get down.
What if that's a key question? And what if you have part of the people saying yes, the jury, and part saying no?
Right, y'all, over at Act 58 alleges possession of a firearm by a convicted felon
Excuse me.
by Mr. Kendrick by possession of a firearm having been
Okay.
convicted of that Arizona felony. Is that conviction of possession of a firearm in evidence? Not the Arizona conviction, but I guess, I don't know if it's I assume Georgia conviction for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon?
That's the one that you have for 38.
Okay.
That I told the first the conviction for that.
Y'all do hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. I said it yesterday. We can come in here. We can debate. We can go all the way in here. You can express your true opinion up in here. Kiera said after Thanksgiving. It's starting to look that way.
Yeah, because the holiday's here.
I think deliberation is going to take three to 5 days. I'm really feeling like it probably will not be done tomorrow. Calling the state as usual, people pleasing, trying to please the state is wrong. Judge should shut it down. The judge should ask, is there any case law, Andre? If there's no case law, then she can rule how she wants, but she can't. She's a superior court judge. She's on the lowest rung of judges of court. So what's proper is, has a higher court ruled on this previously? If so, show it to me so I can follow that ruling. If not, then Judge Whitaker can make her own ruling and make her own determination.
Exactly.
So as a superior court judge, her job is to follow precedent. So she's asking the state, and rightly so, is there a precedent? Is there an appeal or Supreme Court ruling on this kind of question? If so, please show me so that I can act accordingly. That's what her job is.
You can put it back where it goes. And then have y'all come up with any other overt acts where we won't need to define a crime because it's established by some alleged co-conspirator's conviction that's in evidence?
Your Honor, we are looking. Your Honor, we're looking at that now, and I think the court just addressed this, but just with the Arizona conviction.
Yeah, we don't need that one. We just need that one's satisfied.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think if they come back tomorrow, between today and tomorrow, it's going to have to be not guilty. Kai, I do thank you for gifting the membership. Whoever received that gifted membership from Kai, please say thank you if you haven't already.
I don't know, y'all.
So Sherry Lee says maybe you can move, but you can't move.
All right, so here's my thing. I really wonder, like, let me see something. Let's take a look at this, so that we can have a little bit more context. All right, let's see. Shut up. By the way, have y'all been using AI? Listen, I am so glad that I got onto AI early before the real big boom when they were just testing it because oh my god, I love AI, y'all. And if you're not using it and you're over 35, don't worry, because I'm gonna do a tutorial for how to use it so you can at least get the basics of AI down. It will change your life. At least cut some things in half. I'm telling you. All right, so a RICO. RICO means, oh my goodness. Excuse me, y'all. So whether RICO means racketeer influence in corrupt organization. Under the Georgia RICO law, let's see here. Okay. RICO is somewhat a complicated statute. You think to prove the crime of RICO, there are very specific elements with their own specific definitions. The state must also separate underlying offenses. And I think that's what, excuse me, y'all. I think that's what's been so confusing is all of the underlying and different charges that were outside of the RICO. I think, especially like for everyday people like me and you, we don't know, like, okay, to us, again, why we kept saying, okay, what's the charge again? Okay, what's the trial about again? And I think that's where a lot of the confusion came in at. And it wasn't just with us, y'all, because the judge was confused too. All the judges. Because she's the third judge. Okay, so the defendant committed 2 or more predicate crimes. The predicate acts were committed as a part of an enterprise engaging in a pattern of racketeering activity, and that either one or more of the acts that formed the pattern resulted in the defendant acquiring or maintaining control of any enterprise, real property, or personal property, including money. The defendant was employed by or associated with the enterprise through a pattern of racketeering. So basically saying, like the prosecution was trying to say YSL is a gang, and if YSL is a gang, the people that are a part of YSL aren't signed as artists and employees. They're trying to make it seem like they're a part of this RICO and they're only a part of YSL because of these charges, and it's a part of an enterprise. An enterprise is defined as a person or business recognized under state law or some other legal entity or a group or association which is not legally recognized entity but associate and identifies a group with a common purpose or goal. An enterprise can be legitimate or illegal and can also include governmental entities. Now let's keep in mind Diddy also is facing RICO charges. However, Diddy is the only one right now. And it's one or more. So we'll circle back to Diddy during the lunchtime lowdown. All right, so racketeering activity means to commit, attempt, or solicit another person to commit a specific crime listed in the statute. Oh, okay. That makes sense when it comes to what they're trying to say about Diddy. Wow, y'all. It's a lot. No wonder, listen, if the judge, honey, if the judges, all 3 of them, got confused, then you know we getting confused. Child, what? Still, I don't understand. I still don't understand how we got here. Meaning longest, most expensive trial in Georgia history. This is a mess. Let's see if they're live right now. Yeah, I think Prosecutor Love must have heard what we were saying, honey, about her outfit. Because it looked like she got on a little cute outfit today. I'm just glad her and her boss or her coworker or whatever, they ain't all dressed alike today. Y'all saw them yesterday? All dressed alike, matching outfits and all red. Who the real gang? I'm just saying. You trying to call them Bloods, but y'all dressed alike in all red. I'm just saying. Make it make sense, y'all. That's it. You gotta make it make sense. And I cannot say still that it's making sense. Even the judge still, and she's doing the best that she can to try not to read them again and be cynical again. But I'm telling you, I can tell she holding it back. It's a lot. Because why? At the end, are we still going over things that should have been went over in the beginning? All right, let's check it out for a few more minutes and see which way they're gonna go with it. See if she's gonna send the jury out or what's gonna happen. I don't see a lot of movement from the defense tables. I don't see a lot of coordinating with the defense attorneys and the defendants. So therefore, I am not inclined to believe that they have talked about a plea deal because, like I said, I don't see a lot of activity and a lot of coordinating. And I would think that by now, if they were going to do that, they would have already the defense would have already talked to the prosecution about it again. So let's stay tuned. We'll give it a few more minutes and kind of see where it goes, and we'll decide from there how we're going to keep an eye on it. That's what I like yesterday. That was cray. Y'all, a mess. A whole mess, y'all. Child. I was like, now whose idea was that? Bonnie Willis. Annie. I don't know. What y'all think they talking about? Will they have jobs after this? Maybe. Anyway, while they over there bumping their gums, you might as well go on circle through. If anything shaking on the Diddy trial, well, Diddy bond situation. Okay, updated 19 hours ago, 11 hours. Y'all, side note, after today, I might be beefing with my trash collection people. They don't tell me. We had too much trash. First of all, what are we supposed to do with it? What are we supposed to do with it? And I've never heard such a thing in my life, and I have lived in 5 different states throughout my life and career. Have y'all ever heard of that? The nerve. So y'all know. Y'all might have to come bomb me out if they say something stupid. And I'm going to go out there and check because I just heard them drive by to see if they took out my trash. Because y'all, last week, they left some trash in a note saying that we had too much trash. It's a trash collection truck. What do you want us to do with the trash? Anyway, I might be on trial snapping on them if they don't take my trash. All right, y'all, let's see. Diddy. All right, so right now we don't have any update on Diddy, but you already know our head is on a swivel. Maybe by lunchtime, when we get ready for the lunchtime lowdown, we'll have I'll have more of an update by then. But we're waiting. The judge, I assume that both sides, the prosecution and defense, got their papers into the judge with their explanations yesterday on time by 12 p.m. Eastern, because we haven't heard anything about them not getting them in. So I would assume that the judge is deliberating, and any moment we will know if Diddy will have bail. We'll get a bond. Let's see here. Okay, that's the defense attorney saying something to the prosecutor. I don't know if that's relevant. Because you know they all know each other for real. Wow. All right, y'all. So it looks like what they're doing now is giving the judge some time to go over the case law that she requested, because per usual, how the prosecution has been doing in this case, they waited to the last minute. And I'm sorry, I'm looking for the computer charger, y'all. I'm not being rude. I'm looking for the computer charger so it don't go dead on y'all. But as usual, the prosecution has waited to the last minute to try to throw in some overt actions for the judge to consider giving to the jury as well. And I think the biggest concern has always been about taming the jury. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see how the jury can't be tamed. But we're really gonna see, I guess, if it goes out to the jury based on how long it takes them to come back, how they come back, or whatever notes they send the judge while they're trying to deliberate. It's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see. But I don't have faith in this case turning out in the prosecution's favor. I feel like this judge has been very thorough and fair, and I look forward to seeing how she ends up breaking this down, because her responses is the only thing I understand. All the stuff that the prosecution is throwing in, they keep throwing in more stuff and more stuff and more stuff, which is why it's confusing. And again, like we just saw when we looked up racketeering, obviously some things can be separate from the racketeering charge, etc. So, easy to see how it could be confusing. To us, not them. They went to law school. They got law degrees. Got the trash people out there, y'all. Y'all think they're gonna take it all? If they don't take all my trash, I am calling the HOA, and then I'm going out there next time they come with the trash. And I told y'all might be pounding me out because I don't like leave me some trash, but not so much. Where do they do that at? We're gonna see. I'll let y'all know when I come back for the lunchtime lowdown. Shit. I'm not playing with these folks. What we supposed to do with the trash? I don't know, y'all. We gonna see. Okay, y'all know I want to know. I'll be right back. Let me see. As you can tell by the smile on my face, as they did take all the trash. It's good, because I don't feel like snapping on nobody. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. So I tell you what, we see right now, it looks like everybody's just kind of talking about the judges going over case law to see if she's going to allow those last minute overt actions requested by the prosecution. And of course, the defense is definitely saying, no, we don't, that's not fair, that's not okay, Your Honor. Of course, we object to that. So she hasn't even instructed the jury yet. And again, my concern is, will it even make it to the jury? If it does, will it be today? Will it end in a mistrial? Over lunch, will the prosecution and defense have lunch together and with a plea deal that works? I don't know, y'all. We are on verdict watch for the YSL trial. At least we can say verdict watch. We at the end. Jesus. Took us forever to get here, but we are
All right,
here.
y'all continue to research. I need to go up to my chambers and see if
See? That's
some
okay.
changes
Go look
might
at all
be
that stuff.
saved
And I
on
gave her all
the
this stuff
computer
last week.
there that aren't
Thought she was
saved on
dumb.
a document down here.
See?
All right.
All right, y'all. So I will see y'all back now that we got You see what's going on with the YSL Verdict Watch. And we'll stay on watch. I'll stay on Diddy Watch. And of course, Dirk Watch. And then I will see you guys for the lunchtime lowdown. All right. If you haven't yet, make sure you support the channel, like, subscribe, and share. Join the crew. Get on down with the crew. Radio-Muva on all social media. All right. All right. Love y'all. I'll see y'all back later on.